I'm 82 years old, and if you're under 50, I'm about to describe your life in a way that might make you uncomfortable. You see, I spent 4 decades convinced I was the hero of my own story. I was the provider. I worked 80-hour weeks, took every red-eye flight, and climbed a ladder that I thought was the only thing standing between my family and ruin. I told myself the same lie you're probably whispering to yourself right now. I'm doing this for them. I remember 1994 vividly. I was 50 years old, at the peak of my career, closing a deal that would secure my partnership at the firm. I felt like a titan. But while I was in a boardroom in Chicago, my youngest son was graduating high school. I wasn't there. I sent a card with a check inside, thinking that success was a valid substitute for presence. I thought I had all the time in the world to make it up to him later. But as I sit here today, looking at the silence in my house, I realize that later is a ghost that never shows up. I won the career game, but I lost the only thing that actually mattered, the connection to the people I claimed to be working for. The danger of professional success is that it's a terrible goal because the goalposts never stop moving. I remember the day I finally made partner. I felt amazing for about 48 hours. Then the feeling faded. Suddenly, being partner wasn't enough. I needed to be the senior partner. It's a hamster wheel that disguises itself as progress. I was chasing more money and more respect, believing that once I hit a certain number in my bank account, I could finally relax and be the father and husband I wanted to be. But here is the truth that took me 50 years to learn. Your career will never love you back. When I had my own cardiac event at 65, the firm didn't cry in the hospital corner. My wife did. The clients I stayed up all night for didn't visit me. They found another lawyer within a week. We treat our jobs like they are the foundation of our lives, but they are just tasks we do to fund the lives we are too busy to actually live. I spent 30 years leaning my ladder against a wall, only to find out at 70 that it was the wrong wall entirely. I had the house and the respect, but none of it mattered when I realized I was essentially a stranger in my own home. My wife and I were married for 54 years before she passed. For most of that time, I thought we were solid because we didn't fight. But looking back, we weren't solid. We were just roommates who had mastered the art of benign neglect. I was physically present for dinner, but emotionally, I was still at the office, checking my messages and thinking about the next day's projections. I treated my marriage like it could run on autopilot, assuming she would always be there when I finally had time to be close. She used to ask me to take a walk or just sit and talk, and I'd say I was too tired or too busy. I thought love was about the big things, paying the mortgage and being faithful. I didn't understand that love is built in the tiny, unremarkable moments. It's built in the conversations over breakfast and the way you really listen when they tell you about their day. By the time I retired and finally had the time, she had already adapted to my absence. She had her own life, her own friends, and her own joy, and I wasn't part of it. We spent decades being right and being successful instead of being close. I have 3 grandchildren now, and when I look at them, I see the same patterns I see in their parents. They are stressed, they are chasing impact, and they are making the same mistakes I made. I try to tell them that mattering doesn't mean being seen by crowds or having a high-status job. Mattering is quieter. It's being present with the people directly in front of you. I thought my legacy would be the business I built. But legacy isn't a building or a plaque. Legacy is the way you made people feel. My son, the one whose graduation I missed in 1994, is now 50. He is a successful man, but he barely knows me. We have a polite relationship, but the ripples of my absence during his childhood are still spreading. You think you have unlimited time to fix your relationships, but you don't. One day, the clock stops. My biggest regrets aren't the business deals I lost. They are the Sundays I didn't call my own father, and the trips I never took with my wife because I was too busy. These are the things that eat at you when you're 82 and sitting in a quiet house. If I could go back and talk to my 30-year-old self, I wouldn't tell him to work harder. I would tell him to stop trying to impress people who don't matter. I would tell him that the perfect time to live the life he wants will never come, because life will always be messy and complicated. You have to stop waiting for permission to be happy. You have to start saying no to obligations that drain you, and yes to the people who love you. I'm on borrowed time now, and I'm okay with that because I've finally started living intentionally. I've spent the last few years trying to reclaim the intimacy I threw away for 40 years. But I can't get those 52 years back. Don't wait for a cardiac event to realize you've been living on autopilot. Don't wait for your partner's last words to realize you wasted time being right instead of being close. The life you're waiting to live needs to start now. Not after the next promotion, not when you have more money, now. Because someday is today, and it always has been. What are you going to do with the time you have left?